Okay, YouTube, I'm going to show you all how to cook a turkey. Alright, y'all, I'm going to show you one of the simplest, most delicious ways to cook a turkey ever. I love doing it this way. Got a defrosted turkey here, and of course, don't forget to take the giblets and the neck and all that kind of stuff out. Yeah, that's the good stuff. You can simmer those and do giblet gravy, or you can make dirty rice. So yeah, there's ways to use that.
Oh, dirty.
But don't forget to take it out. It doesn't work real well if you leave it in there. Alright, so we have our turkey, and often I will start the day ahead and I will brine it. But this way works out just as well, and it's delicious. So super simple. Alright, so we're going to start with couple things. You can use a roasting rack if you want to, but instead of a roasting rack, I like to do this. So I take my mirepoix ingredients, carrots, onion, and celery, right? And we're picking them up, and we're dropping these. We're dropping the turkey. We're dropping these right on the baking sheet. Yep. And then our onions. So what we're doing actually is kind of like making a little roasting rack for the bird, and as it cooks, the juices and the butter and all that yummy stuff is going to come down and drip down onto those veggies, and those veggies are going to roast while the turkey is roasting. So you create a little roasting rack. It also, the vegetables will have enough oomph to hold your bird up. So you don't want it sitting on the bottom of the pan. The bottom layer will get soggy. It won't be nice. All right. Boys were making fun of me a minute ago because I was loosening the skin over the breast of the turkey. And here's how you do that. Let's see. Where's his...
Oh, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, this is... You run your fingers up under here, see? And you're just loosening it up. You really don't want to tear the skin, but you do want to get it nice and loose. And here's why. This is compound butter we made a minute ago, and it's got garlic and... What all we put in here, Bladen? Salt and pepper, garlic, lemon zest,
Presley.
Presley?
Something like that.
Are you saying parsley? We found Elvis. He's in my turkey.
Oh boy.
Parsley.
Can't wait to eat Elvis.
Yeah. So you're rubbing this butter.
Oh, yum.
It doesn't feel great. It's really kind of weird and squishy. But you want to get it up under that skin because as the bird cooks, that butter, of course, is going to melt and it's going to baste that bird from the inside.
It's going to make the inside taste good.
Yes. Now we've got, give him a rub on the outside too. You know what we're going to have to do in a second though? You're going to have to pause and let me wash my hands because this is gross. I have a certain level where that starts to freak me out. All right, let me wash my hands. We'll come back and I'll show you the next couple steps to get this bird in the oven. All right, we're back with Elvis the turkey. Sorry, Bladen, I couldn't resist. Okay, so I got my hands clean because it was freaking me out a little bit. Now, we've got fresh rosemary, see, and fresh thyme. And when I was making the compound butter, I went ahead and threw the stems over here. You don't want to bite into it, but we're using this to kind of perfume and flavor the turkey from the inside. And those stems still have a lot of fragrance and flavor to give off. And then I've got a couple lemons. And these are the lemons that I used to zest when I was making the compound butter. So we want to shove him full of that stuff. I have no comment, Bladen.
Neither do I.
Alright, here's the other thing you want to do. Up here at the neck, you have a pretty significant cavity right there, you see? We're going to fill that too. Okay, so we're going to take all these herbs.
It's like a pajama flap.
It does, doesn't it? When have you had pajamas like that? Maybe when you were 3.
Probably.
I had pajamas like that when I was an adult.
Mom.
That's something nobody ever needs to have as a grown-up.
TMI.
I think they were green.
Okay, Mom, this can go in the bloopers.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to set our compound butter on the back of the stove because the oven vents through this eye and it'll be enough to keep that butter nice and soft. I'm going to throw him in for 350 degrees. I'm going to set my timer for half an hour, and then half an hour I'm going to brush more of the butter over the top. That will help make sure the skin is nice and crispy, and then we have all that wonderful goodness getting all the way through the bird. So wash hands, in the oven, 350 degrees, half an hour. We'll be back. Are we going?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple things. I basted this guy a couple of times with the herb butter. I just, used it all up. There you go. And once it had gotten this nice rich mahogany color, I just loosely laid a piece of foil over the top of it so it wouldn't get too dark. Here's something I want to show you. Now, a lot of commercial turkeys come with this little guy, which is, in my opinion, kind of useless. This is what you want to use. This is a meat thermometer, and you can see I've got it inserted into what's called the oyster. You're coming right into the thickest part of that thigh. That's where you want to take the temperature. Now you notice I pulled it at 165. You noticed it has already gone up a couple of degrees. This is because of carry-over cooking. It will continue to increase in temperature while it rests for about 30 minutes, okay? Well, it'll increase for about 10 minutes, okay? You have to let your bird rest. If you cut into it now, the juices are all going to come running out of it, and that's not going to do you any good. All that wonderful herb butter we worked into there, you're going to lose it. So as a roast or a bird rests after you cook it, the juices, which have all come to the surface, are going to redistribute back through the meat, right? So at this point, we're not doing a thing. We'll be back in a minute. I'm being surrounded by kids that are after this bird, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it and show you what we got. So we had all that wonderful herb butter. And if you're carving a turkey, you just want to come down one side of the breastbone. Like that. Oh, tell me that skin's not crispy. Work all the way down that side. And then we're going to come in here. I should have taken the legs off first, but I didn't. So my daughter is after some breast meat. Then we're going to cut it this way. Lost a lemon. It really would have been easier if I'd taken the legs off. And that should be, well, oh, I missed. No. I'm dropping lemons. Do what, honey? I got kids over here talking about the turkey. Okay. There we go. Now, let's see. I made gravy. It's hot. But it is so good. All right. To serve this, you can serve it with gravy, or my preference, since we have it, take a little bit of this compound butter and let it melt.
That's not a little.
That's gonna be what I'm gonna call it. You let it melt just like that, because then you've got the flavors. Ooh, look at that. All right, guys. That is how you cook a turkey.